Starting this.
I like this better. You just look outside and shit.
Yeah, I think you see, the people coming back and forth across the universe here.
There gotta be boom. Are we on?
Do you want to? Yeah, we are. You want to just spin your mic in so you're kind of have it in this position? There you go.
There we go.
And then if you loosen that one, you can pull the whole post will come out. There you go.
Like that.
Get a little more into your space.
Cool.
All right. Well, hey everybody, it's riverwestradio.com. You've got us on extemporadio. We're a little hot.
You're hot?
The mics are hot.
Oh, I thought you meant like literally. I'm like,
It's Milwaukee, Wisconsin in April.
Oh man, I was just talking to somebody.
Very little being hot.
I wish. I just talked to somebody in Arizona. She's like, it's 103 over here. I was like, damn, man.
You want to see what's on that sticker up there, on that green sticker on that microphone? Here? Yeah, just let's see what's on that sticker. That's three. Okay. All right, we can get rid of 3 then. Good. All right. Wow, here we are at Extemporadio Edition 4. And
We've come a long way.
Come along.
4 weeks, baby.
Yeah. From a little play school version mixer to serious equipment behind us here. We've got some real serious equipment back there, and cameras, and trying to do all kinds of things here.
Is that got us on there? That's got you, right? Well, that's got the rack.
That's got the rack. Wow, that is a deep focus on that thing. Wow. I don't know if there's any way to zoom that out. We'll just shift that back and forth. That's what we ought to do, is get that on a little Lazy Susan. Then we can just spin the camera around back and forth. So you can catch us right now on economysuperstar.com. I'm sorry, Economy Superstar on Justin TV. It's justin.tv / Economy Superstar, or you can search Economy Superstar on justin.tv to catch Extemporadio following the Economy Superstar fill-in hour. Tim Hansen, of course, T.W. Hansen providing absolutely excellent cover here on riverwestradio.com. But this is the Extemporadio Radio program. We run from 7 to 9 p.m. on Monday nights. It's the craziest thing to sit here on radio and be distracted by it would be the worst thing ever. If this was ADHD radio, this would be terrible, because you'd be sitting here and every little thing going by would distract you, and you'd just start talking about other stuff.
That's a car. like that?
Yeah,
Okay.
Is that an Akita? That's the challenge for us here, is to ignore the people and the dogs and the bicycles that come slipping by here on Extemporadio.
And all the fans banging at the window.
All of them.
Clamoring for our attention.
Both of them, yeah, exactly. And it's a wonderful thing. But so it's Monday night here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. What do you got going on? What was your what happened and what's coming up?
Me?
Yeah.
My biggest excitement happened to be hanging out with you last
Friday night.
I didn't even think I could tell all the story, but we can talk about it. That was pretty fun.
But there's, there's certain things you talk about and certain things you don't. Yeah.
What was the name of Rick? What was Rick's last name?
My Reyes was the headliner out at Callie's Comedy Club.
He had a solid show.
That was a great show.
And
Ricky Reyes is a good dude.
I want to say one of my top 3 best Pavlov bad date videos.
Oh, crazy. How cool.
Because they had some really crazy ones.
Yeah.
Ken, well, Ken's got stories.
Ken's got stories.
And then we had this was, I don't even know, I'm still contemplating putting this up. But we had a married couple. No, we had two, a guy and a gal who were both married dating each other, but they weren't married to each other. They were married to other people.
And they did a bad date story?
Yes.
Oh, my God. Oh,
No.
that's fabulous.
Yeah,
hey, I don't give a crap radio is what that is. Holy
Dude,
cow.
and that's why I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I should make another segment or like, Too Hot series or something like that.
Oh, no, that's what you put on the video that you sell. That, that you use the other ones to give a taste, and then you create a video of the ones that you just can't put online.
Those are pretty hot. Yeah, they had.
That's all right.
Well, apparently the gist of it was they were both married. One of them, the chick finalized her divorce. The guy had not finalized it yet, and their bad date story was they went and hung out he had promised her like a good date, and he ends up taking her to opening day instead. And he takes her to opening day, and then who ends up showing up? But a bunch of his family, who like knew what was
that he's married.
Yeah, he's married or whatever. And then a bunch of her family, not the girl he took to on the date, but the girl that he was married to. A bunch of like a Mexican family.
Yeah.
So a bunch of their family showed up, and it was like super.
Yeah, they don't take to that kindly.
Awkward.
Yeah. I mean, as a culture, they take marriage a bit more seriously.
Yeah.
Americans would play along for the ride, and they would go, "Oh, you guys are out as friends. You're both big baseball fans. You both are really just kind of into hanging out, and your spouses were both busy today, and they both said, "Hey, why don't you two go hang out?" Yeah, that didn't happen that way if they're white.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it was a good.
If they're Mexican,
that's pretty solid. I'm gonna put it up anyway. I mean, for now, it's still brand new, and these are the stories that I have so far. So maybe when I have enough to start splitting them up, but I mean, I think it's hanging around you guys, the comedians.
You're gonna blame it on the comedians?
That's
great.
Before I just had some a couple of normal interviews, and now they're starting to get awesome.
Well, so,
it's your fault that they're awesome.
People are weird. And we do get people to admit to and talk about things that they otherwise wouldn't. I'm always surprised when you call somebody out on something in the audience and they start just revealing details about their lives that most of us never wanted to ever know or see or hear about. And oh my goodness, sometimes you can't stop them. You can't get them to shut up. And hey. They feel like they want to talk about it, so we give them that opportunity.
They don't care, man.
And let them get out there with it. Sure. So that was Friday night out at Callie's in Brookfield. That is a food and beverage spot in the Best Western Midway Plus Hotel, and we had a nice little show out there. I hosted that show for Nate Ford and Ricky Reyes from Cleveland, Ohio. So Ricky's making a swing for Funny Business, the Yoder Boys, through Wisconsin right now, and doing his thing. A bunch of one-nighters, and it was a crazy little night. One of our friends brought a limousine. We ended up downtown at Catch 22. Had a ridiculously fun time, and actually hooked up with the bar manager there, and we'll probably be doing a comedy show at Catch 22 in the near future for June. So it looks like that's going to come together pretty nicely. So trying to expand the idea of comedy here in the Milwaukee market, get it into as many interesting, unique venues as possible, and just see where it catches, see where it sticks, because there's an idea that comedy has to be performed in a club. It needs a very clean environment. And to me, that really just doesn't even dovetail in general with what comedy is. It's dirty, it's crass, it's raw, it's raucous. And if you have a circumstance where you're doing comedy and geez, there's somebody talking and they're not paying attention to you, you know what that usually means? You might not be all that funny. If you're better at getting their attention, because here's the funny thing: you go into a venue like that, and they weren't expecting a comedy show to begin with,
right.
So you really can't count on them to just drop what they were doing. So you can be super compelling, and you can get their attention and be a really good comic, but you might not get everyone. But the funny thing is, with a well-designed sound system, you can get the sound of the people that want to hear, and they're going to pay attention and whatever, end up following you on Facebook, and you build a fan base that way. I find it really interesting when comics gripe about bar shows because they weren't paying attention to me. It's like, hey, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that you didn't get enough love when you were a teenager or a child, and you actually do go up there for attention. And until everybody's focused and pointing right at you and looking right at you, you know, I'm really sorry. That's just not how the real world works.
Look
so.
at me. Look at me.
We're gonna have to cover that.
That's gonna be my show. I'm gonna do a stand up, and I'll just do that for 5 minutes.
We're gonna cover the video screen if you can't stop playing to the video screen.
It's a video. That's why. What else do we have that for?
All right. So that was.
Sorry,
you're live now. That was on. What day was that? That was Friday. Wow, that is too close. There's gotta be a way. There's got to be a way to zoom that out.
You can't like on the software zoom it out or.
Yeah, I don't know. That is amazing.
Well,
I'm gonna have to screw a hook into the. Gonna have to yeah, right. Gonna have to screw a hook into the. Yeah, we still have some. It was really. I was happy to see the whole thing change over to that side of the room. I'm gonna try this. We're going to take a slight program break here to... Almost wiped everything up.
So what's up with this? That's a cool shot
a little bit better.
Shot of side of my head. I play to the camera.
That's all the further it'll be out for now.
Whatever.
Oh, that is crazy. They do have a call-in line now. We can have people call in.
Really?
Yeah, apparently.
That's awesome. Well, if we had more listeners, people might call in.
Apparently we can have a call-in. So if anybody wants to call in, 1 or 10 of you or 47 of you. Actually, there's 2 of you listening. Who's listening? Now we're down to 1. If you want to call in, the number here, we should have it on a thing back here.
Oh,
right
big like
back there.
board.
But you can call in at 414-935-2951. 414-935-2951. Gets you live on extemporadio here on riverwestradio.com. Justin.tv/economy superstar is the other places you can come check us out and see everything going. What's that?
To answer, you just hit call, and then if you put auto, it automatically picks up.
Crazy.
And make sure, okay, this thing's on. And actually turn it off when you don't have a call or mute it. Otherwise, you get a little bit of feed.
Sure.
And then right around where it was, I think that should be good.
Okay.
Yeah, call to answer it, pick it up, and then hit
call,
and
answer,
then you can hang it back up. Yeah, and then drop it.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, it's awesome, man. Thanks. That's perfect.
I'm really excited about that thing.
Yeah, it's very. It's another cool aspect of River West Radio, where the station is really getting itself prepared to be live and ready to go come September, and it's going to be some crazy stuff going on here in River West, talking about all things Milwaukee and the greater world. So,
did you do any more shows between Friday and now?
Yeah, so so that was Friday night's antics that ended up downtown Milwaukee and then back out in the middle of nowhere out in Brookfield at about 3:30 in the morning, and then from there, Nate Ford and I went to the Olympia Spa Resort and Spa out in Oconomowoc.
Nice.
And Club Indigo. There's a lounge out there that does comedy with Funny Business, and we welcomed from Minneapolis Dwight York, 25-year veteran of the comedy scene. Very much he's a kind of a one-liner comic, just quick setup, punchline, setup, punchline, setup, punchline. He has a very specific style.
Does he make it work though? I mean,
oh yeah, he's brilliant. And the funny thing is, he's one of the few comics that actually works better in a really big or very much in like a bar setting or in a really super large arena type setting.
Really?
Because you don't have to follow along much. It's just simply you can literally walk away, go get a beer, come back, and you didn't, there's no, what was he talking about? There's no missing that because it's all just so quick, boom, boom, boom. So it's so like probably one of his most notorious jokes. I don't think I'm stepping on anything here. I'm certainly not giving anything away. It's it's been shown literally tens of thousands of times on the Bob and Tom show. It's on the Bob and Tom website. It's in Dwight's in his bio information, and but it's a joke that just goes. And this is somewhat of his delivery. I'm going to butcher his idiom, but I'm just going to do my way. And it's I was homeless for a little while, and I didn't want anybody to know, so I slept outside of a Ticketmaster. And that's his bit. So, because who's going to know? You're just sitting outside the Ticketmaster. You look like you're waiting for tickets for the big shoe. And so it's a whole continuing series of just.
That sounds like nice, actually. Where they just keep hitting you with.
You just don't have to think much about it. You just don't have to think. It's just constantly coming at you.
Is it like a Super Trooper style or Family Guy style, where it's like all these like quick jokes keep popping up over and over and over?
Constant. Again? It's a constant flow, 45 minutes to an hour, nonstop.
Holy
of
crap.
Just bada. I can't imagine how he keeps that straight in his head. And he's been in a headliner position for literally 22, 23 years.
Really?
So you have just thousands of jokes in your head at that point. So it's really kind of amazing. So we did that show on Saturday night.
Okay.
What was interesting about that was we arrived at the hotel about 3 p.m. Saturday afternoon, and nice place. Obviously, it's a big resort out there in Oconomowoc, and a very popular place for a lot of different types of group meetings. It turns out they're one of the premier dog club hosting hotels in the country. A lot of hotels won't host dog groups just because dogs stink when they get wet, and so they've got special setups to handle the dogs, but they've got a lot of grounds around the place where they can do the dog. The arena, the agility training, and all those kind of things. So they're really particularly well suited for doing dog shows. There was a small group there that's going to grow progressively through the rest of this week. There was the Cavalier King Charles group that was going to be there, but the executives that were associated with the event were there for this weekend. More of the members will be coming in over this week. By Friday, apparently, there will be 400 Cavalier King Charles dogs at that hotel out in Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. So we happened to catch the lightest weekend of the year. They have no major events planned this year, and otherwise they have a major event almost every weekend out at the Olympia Resort. So we had a very small crowd, but I think what contributed to that was the fact that they recently changed the bar manager. Past bar manager left, have a new bar manager, and only been there less than a month, and there's utterly no promotion for the comedy show.
Wow.
So we get there at 3 o'clock. We're walking through the hotel, and we go past the lounge where we're going to be doing the show, Club Indigo, and there's a chalkboard sign out in front of it, and it says, "Tonight, DJ, 10 to 2." And we stopped, and we're like, go up to the bartender, we're like, there's a DJ after the comedy show? And she's like, what? Well, see, the comedy show is going to go till about 11. It's going to about 9 to 11. So if you have a DJ coming in at 10, he's just going to be standing around. Do you have a DJ tonight? And she's like, oh, no, that's from last night. It's 3:30 in the afternoon right now. It's probably been 100 or so people that have walked past the entrance to this bar and have seen DJ tonight.
It's a DJ. What?
And so now not only do they not know that there's a comedy show, they are expecting a DJ. And that could or could not bode well. So is there any way to get this changed? She's like, we change it when we have time.
It's a chalkboard.
It's 3 in the bar was empty. There was not like, when are you going to have time? What are you busy doing, man?
Give me that chalk.
So we get up to the room, we put our stuff away, and we're getting ready to just go down and check out the stage and whatnot, and check out the sound, and just do a quick run through. And we're looking around the hotel, and there's no mention of the comedy show anywhere. There's no flyers. There's no posters. They did have a 2-foot by 3-foot poster for the Elvis impersonator show that'll be coming on July 5th, 6th, and 7th, 2.5 months away.
Well, I bet you that they got that poster from the guy doing the impersonation.
Actually, they had like several of them, and it was actually, I believe it's their own production department because it's very well assembled with very specifics about their event and things they're doing in conjunction with it. I think it was probably put together by their promotions department a couple of months ago when they still had a promotions department or production department. And so here we wind up. We wind up in the business center about 4 in the afternoon, creating our own poster, 4-hour show. We then went throughout the hotel, distributing the poster, leaving it on tables everywhere we could find, dropping them at rooms. And then we went into town, went to gas stations and handed them out to people at gas pumps and left them at the counters at a bunch of different gas stations and a couple of different hotels.
Nice.
Got a couple of grocery stores to put them up. And actually, a grocery store manager said, "Hey, I'm done at 8:30 tonight. I'm going to come to that show." And he showed up. And
nice.
So it was we managed to score 14 people.
Way to beat the streets. That's not bad.
For our little show that otherwise I don't think anybody was going to be aware of at all.
No.
They certainly appreciated somebody doing something to put the show out.
Right.
But it was just that little moment of panic, like, do you want to tell jokes to no people? No, I don't want to tell jokes to no people. I think I'd like to go find some people. So we pounded it out and got a few bodies in there, but it was and it was kind of interesting because it was not that there was anything wrong with the audience at Callie's. The audience out at the Club Indigo Resort was amazing. They were there to laugh. They let it fly. And they were just with us the whole time. It was really kind of a great group of 14. I kept saying, "You're getting your own private show tonight. This would be like if you paid a couple of $1,000, you could get Dwight York to come and talk in your living room. That's what this is tonight. You're getting a real comedy show just for you and your friends. You're going to be able to tell everybody you know, man, you guys missed it. Yeah, you missed it. You guys should have come out that night." So it's kind of a cool thing. So so that was that. And then Sunday we shot up to Neenah, dropped Nate Ford off up in Neenah, met up with a couple other comedian friends up there. Glenn Gerard, who happens to be from Brookfield, but was doing a show up in Neenah, matinee show up there. And then Matt Golightly, comedian from Texas, was still in the condo, so we hung out with him for a little while. And, and that's kind of a weird thing. We've got this great community. Comedians are a weird group. You don't really establish yourself in very many places. So when you find people that are decent to hang out with, you kind of try to be around that as much as possible, but you got to be ready to just kind of move on and meet new people any chance you get. And so that was just it's like, hey, it's been a while since I've seen you. How you been? And so it's kind of cool. So that was the end of my weekend. And then Sunday night we did the open mic out in at Rounding Third and western edges of Milwaukee, and back to it then this week on Monday. Start it all over again, crank it up. So we've got extemporadio tonight. Right. We've got the open mic at the Tuesday night open mic at the Miramar Theater tomorrow night. Sign up is at 7:30. The list goes out at 7:30. The show is at 8 p.m. Wednesday night is the Wednesday comedy open mic at Stage Right inside the Miramar. That is an all comedy open mic. That is from 7 to 9:30. The sign up is at 6:45 for that event, and then. On Friday, I'm going to be at the Highland House in Mequon, Wisconsin, for a Heartland Comedy Express honor flight show. So that's coming up on Friday. So if you want to see it's going to be a very nice show. A bunch of comedians from northern part of Wisconsin coming down. Tickets, I believe, are either $8 or $10 at the door. All proceeds. We take nothing. This is a complete benefit show. We all volunteer our time. All proceeds go to the Honor Flights of Wisconsin show. This is for the Pacific veterans, the return to Pearl. So this is to send surviving servicemen who were serving in Pearl Harbor at the time of the attack during the war, during World War II, to send them back to their reunions out in Hawaii this year. So we're trying to raise money. The Saturday event up north in Kiwani raised $1,038. So that event is going to send one serviceman completely to and from the event. That is so awesome that these guys are willing to do this and put their time up. The little organization, Heartland Comedy Express, has already raised more than $3,000 just this season for the Honor Flight shows, for the Honor Flight veterans. And so that is Friday night, and then Saturday night up in Elkhart Lake at Victorian Village, we're doing another Honor Flight show there. That is a dinner show. That is and I will say the show in Mequon at Highland House is at 7 and 9:30. There's two shows. You have two opportunities. You can either hit the early show or hit the late show. It's a clean show both times. It's probably, I would say, it's PG-13. It's not going to be an R-rated show just because it gets a little later on. The sun goes down. It's going to be a nice show. You can bring Grandpa to it if he still remember all his war friends and wants to help out. There is an auction, so please bring your checkbook or a bunch of cash. You can bid on some really great memorabilia and some really great items that local businesses have donated. So it's kind of a cool thing. Then the same thing on Saturday night is 7 p.m. at Victorian Village in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. That one's $35, but it's dinner and the show. So you get a really amazing dinner. It is not just some rubber chicken or some paper ham or turkey. It is a really serious, decent meal. Victorian Village is one of the was one of two 4-star locations in Elkhart Lake. So that show is at 7 p.m., but that's only going to be one show, and it's going to be just a wonderful night. So if you're in the northern reaches of the listening area, if your parents if they live in the outer suburbs, if you're a local here, friends or family live out in the far reaches, send them out to a great comedy show Friday or Saturday night. Highland House in Mequon on Friday, and Victorian Village in Elkhart Lake on Saturday. So you are listening to River West Radio at riverwestradio.com. It's Extemporadio with Brendan O'Day and Sam Caban. It's 7:30 p.m.
How long did that plug go?
It's pretty long.
About 15
I was
minutes.
just giving a whole rundown of my week.
That's
no, it
awesome.
actually went almost 20 minutes, actually, if you were
Holy
timing
crap.
it. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's the most awesome plug.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, that was a long.
ever.
Yeah, I don't know. I see the way it was introduced. The way it was introduced. You know, what did you do? What are you doing? That kind of ran past that whole. That's the way that goes sometimes.
Nice.
So now that you're all rested,
Yes.
you're all ready to go.
Very relaxed.
What do you want to talk about tonight? What's going on in your universe?
My universe, just babies and martial arts and trying really hard to get our little promo team together, which I'm not going to talk too much about, to be honest. I want to keep it very ninja quiet about them. Seriously, man.
Well, you're doing a good job because you're only talking to one person right now.
Well,
this is really fast.
Yeah, this doesn't really matter. But you know, I mean, even when we start doing the work or whatever, because I think nobody takes advantage enough of our online, like the free resources that we have online.
I think that's probably true.
Not nearly
it's probably
enough.
the most underutilized tool, and you think of how many people are using it and getting value out of it,
Yeah.
and I still think that's probably basically true. That it's we're pretty lazy when it comes to getting the most use out of the internet. I think people are a little intimidated by it. They have to commit to a lot of activity, and they're not sure that they're going to get a lot of return. Especially with things that are as restrictive as things like Facebook, where it's not as it's building an audience to whom to send your message to. Can be a little restrictive and a little limiting.
Restrictive how?
Well, restrictive in that you can't necessarily get to the people you want to get to with impunity.
Right.
Because there's barriers to that.
Sure.
I've been shut off on Facebook on a couple of occasions because
Why?
I friended too many people at one time.
Yeah, they'll do that. Like if you're catching too many, they figure you're like purposely trying to plug or whatever. So like if you got a bunch of requests that all you can do is like accept only a certain amount of them a day.
Well, you can accept anybody that's seeking you out. What you can't do is request.
Really?
Yeah, and what happens is, this is what I found, is the first time that you hit a bunch of people at once,
Right.
they give you like 3. If 3 people send back, hey, I don't know this person, because there's that box you can check, you know, accept, you know, approve, or deny,
right?
And then you can deny for several reasons. And if one of them is, hey, I don't know this person, if you get 3 of those, then they send you a thing saying, hey, you're trying to reach too many people at once. They're really kind of friendly about it.
Spamming or whatever.
And then if you get one more, they shut you down for 2 weeks. Then when you come back from that, if you if you send out some friend requests and you get one more, they'll shut you down for another 2 weeks, and then the third time they'll shut you down for a month or cancel your account.
Really?
So because they think you're spamming and things like that. And I got to that level where they were threatening to shut me down, and it was just because, you know, I'd go to a place, I'd do a show at a place somewhere, I'd go to that place's friends list, and I just click on people I recognized or people that looked like I recognized or whatever, and just say, and I'd send a message along with it, say, hey, I'm a comedian that was at that place that you like to hang out at. If you want to be kept aware of upcoming stuff, just, you know, accept the friend request. If you don't, please don't say that I'm a bad guy who's trying to spam you, because I'm not trying to spam you. In fact, I'm trying to do exactly the opposite. I'm trying to give you an opportunity to friend me or not friend me.
Right.
Just straight out.
But some people will do that anyway, because they're like, people get real like that. I think that's the really only issue I think with like social media and Facebook is that people get real uppity about it. They're like, well, this is my Facebook, that's me. I'm like, dude, it's a free platform. Why are you complaining?
Right.
You know, like that you can't sit here and whine to me because, you know, I got, you know, you got spammed because somebody hacked into my Twitter or something. Like, I've had that. Have you gotten I've gotten I don't know why. This still seems to be going around. It's been going on since last year. But there's like, sometimes I'll get a tweet from somebody, like a personal message, and it'll be like, somebody was saying bad things about you. Click here to find out what they said. You get this?
Oh my God. No, I've seen them, but I've never gotten them.
Yeah, they're like, I got a few, and somebody had to message me saying, dude, I think you got spammed because it's like that message kept flipping in my account, so I had to go and change the password. But like, that's the worst thing, you know, that's the worst thing that'll happen. Sure. Other than that, it's like if you get, I think what's nice about this stuff is that if you do have a fan base, it's not because you know, you did way too much. Hey, look at me. You did like, you know, a little bit to put yourself out there, make yourself visible. But if they're on your page, it's because they purposely have come and said they click the like page. Like if you make a page, they click the like button, which I think I just talked with this guy named DJ Palestine, who does like a lot of club and DJ, where you can do pretty much anything, but he mostly ends up doing a lot of DJ or club DJ work. And he says that after about, I think, 5,000 likes on a page, they cut you off. That's as much as you're allowed to have.
I think that's on your.
You can make a new one.
I think it's on your personal page.
Oh, 5,000 like personal friends.
No, that's on your. Yeah, that's on your. That's not on. Oh, what do they call it? That's not on your account page. That's where it's you and your regular activity. That's limited to 5,000.
Okay.
When you set up a page that is you as a performer, you as an individual who is. Who's like an event person, who's out in some fashion, any sort of fashion.
Right.
That one is the one that can go into the hundreds of thousands.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
So like the Ford Focus has a page.
Okay.
And you can like it. You can like the page, and that's well into the 70s, 80s, thousands of people.
Okay.
And you can accumulate as many. So then when you want to send something out to that entire group, now you're just doing it from that page. They can't usually respond. They can, you know, but they're just receiving that information. So, but that's
cool.
how you update people on, you know, I'm doing this show. I'm going to be in this place, or we're coming to your town with this event or whatever. So, and that's where the difference between Facebook and MySpace kind of came down, was that MySpace, you could do it by zip code, and you lose that. There is no control like that with Facebook. So let's say I was going to go do a show in Minneapolis. Okay. I could go in and plug in a range of zip codes in MySpace, 60401 to 64225.
Okay.
That's all the zip codes around the greater Minneapolis area. Any friend that I had in that zip code range, if they had put their zip codes in there, and MySpace was they asked for your town or your zip code, anybody that was in that range got your message. Anybody outside of that, because some guy in Ohio doesn't give a crap that I'm going to Minneapolis next week. Okay. So you were able to target market your message And some people would say, well, if you get it to the guy in Ohio, he might have friends in Minneapolis, and they might see that pop up on his wall. Okay, there's an upside to that. But if I send something out, if I send stuff out 5 times a week, 10 times a week, 15 times a week, if I could be targeting this group for 2 of those times, and they only get hit by me twice a week, they're going to think I'm an okay guy.
Yeah.
If I hit everybody 15 times a week because there's no way to delineate anything,
Right.
then I just look like a guy who's spamming people and constantly putting crap out.
Right.
So it really does cross. It's that, yeah, okay, I'd like everybody to hear about it. Or okay, I might get better reach that way, but I also end up having to promote things to people who have no need for that, who don't want to receive that at all. So that's one of the big differences between Facebook and MySpace, and I'm still on that woeful bandwagon of I really wish MySpace wouldn't have just gone away the way it went away, because as a marketing tool. Oh, sure it is, but nobody's there. You know. When's the last time you checked your MySpace page?
I don't think I have it anymore. I think
Yeah,
it's gone.
it's gone. But I mean, I found some pictures of mine that they still had up. And then those disappeared, because if you tagged people in those pictures, it also went to their page. So if those people's accounts have now since gone away, then you keep losing potential places where your picture might have been saved. So it's one of those weird things. So I lost a couple of cool pictures that's the only place I saved them. I had a computer that got stolen where stuff was stored, and life. That's the way that goes.
Wah-wah. Sorry.
Yeah. So,
Hey, did you figure anything out with that podcaster kit back at your place, or is there anything you even want to do with that?
Right now, I honestly, it's been a busy week and a half, 2 weeks. That
You've been gone.
Yeah, it's
All
been a
day,
little crazy.
every day.
Yeah, it's been a little crazy. So I haven't moved any. I haven't really messed around with it yet at all. There's got to be a way to cross I think this new board, we got here right about 7:00 tonight. So this new board might have some output on it that we might be able to very efficiently pull this off, record it, and immediately have use of this in an audio only podcast format. I mean,
Okay.
I know, he's just a devastatingly beautiful young man. You do pull that face off pretty well. Did you see the Twitter pic
Which one?
of you dancing on the dance floor Friday night? I'm gonna embarrass Sam Caban here.
Can you send it to me? Or is
Oh, sure,
put that in a
absolutely,
little,
absolutely.
get me in some trouble?
No, it's fine. It's just I'll read you the caption before I show you the picture.
God.
This is what I
a
put
day.
up. This is what I put up on my Twitter. Should probably go find it.
Well,
on
you know what? I
Twitter.
didn't expect. I mean, I ended up doing three interviews. No, it's like 3 or 4 interviews by that time, and then those 3 gals that were at the show. And first of all, I didn't know Ken was rolling around in like a limo. So the last thing I expected to end up sitting in, beside was a limo like right after that show. And that was kind of like one of those things where, because I was about to go home, I was like, okay, I was gonna call it a night, and then all of a sudden, there's a limo. I'm like, okay, I better jump in this thing and see what happens. It's totally worth it.
How could you not?
No, yeah, that was the
just
thing.
go.
I ran into it. I remember, I saw it. They're like, "We're going," and I was gonna be like, "Whatever." I thought we were gonna jump in a bunch of cars and there's gonna be some crap. And then they pointed, and I saw Ken, and he's driving this limo, and I was like, "Oh, all right." So I ran and grabbed my stuff, ran to the limo, and all that jazz. I ended up forgetting. Did I tell you I forgot my? Yeah, you know that.
Your card at the bar. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Next morning,
I went there.
worked out.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's good.
So
Glad you're okay.
me too.
So the post, the tweet
Okay.
that went with the picture was, dude, don't you know nobody wins an Academy Award when they go full retard? Come on!
He went full
And then I hashtagged it with powlove.com. Let's see if we can
Even you,
get this picture to
even
show up.
you can
You can
get people to like you with a face like that.
didn't even know I was doing that. I just do that stuff. I think it's like a habit. Like
That is Sam Caban.
Yeah, I gotta post that up. I need a little photos page. I might. Well, maybe not.
Going pretty.
I'll put it up on the Facebook.
Pretty lame there.
Keep it real.
On the dance floor at Catch 22 Friday night in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, probably Saturday morning, about 2 a.m. And
you know what? I don't drink much. Like I'll have a beer or two and stuff, and if I eat, I'm okay. But I didn't even get. I wasn't drunk. I had 2 beers at Callie's. Bunch of time passed by, and then I had maybe 1 mixer, and then and Rick got me a shot of Southern Comfort. And I felt fine the entire night, and I remember waking up the next morning, and I had a hangover. Like
you had a hangover?
I had a hangover.
Wow.
Like I felt like crappy, you know.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I
That's
felt
terrible.
fine the night before. What was that?
It's terrible.
It
Sorry
was
about
terrible.
that.
I don't like those anymore, man. I think my body's not used to alcohol as much as it used to be. Back when I was going to be a cop,
Sure.
I was a drinker back then.
Sure. That'll happen. You go out, do stupid things, climb into limousines. You never know what's going to happen.
We know.
Yeah, we had a very nice little night. It was a special, kind of a special weekend to have a couple of good friends of ours down from the Neenah Green Bay area, and put on a really great comedy show for the folks out at Callie's. The big challenge out there was the attendance has been dropping off. They haven't been really super thrilled with the talent that they've been getting. So it was a special night in that they felt like they got a great show. Kind of the same thing that people probably missed out. They do have a telemarketing effort where they do call and try to get people to to commit to reservations for the show, and a lot of people said, we're in this weird gap right now between Easter and Mother's Day, where people had the big Easter brunch thing.
Right.
That's with the grandmas and everything. They know they got Mother's Day coming up. Money's a little tighter right now, you know.
There's always a holiday stepping on my toes.
Yeah, and they have to make a decision, you know, what they're going to do, where they're going to go out. So basically what we're looking for is orphans for our shows, for motherless people who have bad relationships with their families that want to come out irrespective of whatever holiday is screwing up otherwise good plans for great shows, and you can just give up on your family life and just spend all your time and money entertaining yourself, coming out to comedy shows all over southeastern Wisconsin and the rest of the state, northern Illinois, etc. So that's what's going on in that universe, and that's all that's going on. It's crazy times. Crazy times.
Let's do an hour and 15 minutes of dead silence.
Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, man. Let's just sit
Stare
here.
into the camera?
Into each other's eyes. Or the camera's cool.
We're looking directly at you. Can I do that without moving my lips? We're looking
Do you know any ventriloquists?
We're looking directly at you. Oh, of course we can. Yeah, there's plenty of ventriloquists. there's plenty of ventriloquists that you can talk to. It's really kind of a wonderful thing. Yeah, there's a couple of ventriloquists on the Milwaukee scene. We know a couple other ones who make it through every now and again. Ventriloquism is its own brand of comedy.
Yeah.
I think it's probably the version of comedy that most clearly reveals the psychoses which most of us suffer. I think that if anybody's keeping it barely below the surface, it's ventriloquists.
Cool.
The guys that can get up there and tell a third-person story like it's nobody they know, they're probably talking about themselves.
Maybe.
If they ever bring up a friend or a relative, brother, or whatever, clearly that's somebody who's they're talking about themselves. But the ventriloquists, that conversation that they're having at that time with that inanimate object, that's what they say to themselves that's what they say to themselves in the mirror when they're at home.
Pep talks.
Yeah. Some other exciting stuff. I just thought of something coming up. More plugs. Got more plugs. This is the
Plugs.
Malcolm Tense Productions plugging hour. The Malcolm Tense Productions adult comedy show is going to be returning in June to Lucky's on Layton, Lucky's Irish Pub and Grill down on 789 East Layton Avenue. They had a fire about a month ago in their kitchen.
Sucks.
And they, because of the efforts of the 3 different fire departments that responded there, very little damage, contained strictly to the kitchen and none of the structure. So everything worked the way it was supposed to work. The kitchen is still going through the remainder of its remodeling, updating, and then the itinerant permit inspections and all that stuff that goes on afterwards. They have to make sure that you did everything by the book. But they reopened their bar last week Thursday, so the bar is back open if you want to pop into Lucky's for some amazing drink specials and some great Irish beer and such. They have that up and going, and the kitchen should be opening again in the next week or so. But we will be returning there in June with a huge comedy show. They are really upping the ante, and we're taking this up to a new, higher level. This is hilarious. We're going to lose our battery. And it's awesome. So, but hey, it's probably been running for 3 hours already.
Do we even have any viewers now? We still got one. Could be just us. We could be watching ourselves.
No, I don't know. I think the guy watching is sitting out in that car right outside. I'm not sure. If he puts his hand up through the sunroof, we'll know.
Hanson, are you watching us? Is that Hanson?
That's Tim. That's TW.
What the hell is he doing in a bug?
That's his.
That's his?
That's the Y2K bug right there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You remember the big Y2K bug that was going to wipe out all the computers? Turns out that's what it is.
That's what it is.
It's a 2000 Volkswagen Beetle bug.
It was just me, T.W. Hanson, cruising around River West. I wish I could talk like that guy. That'd be so awesome. All the sex talk.
Yeah,
you need the dirty talk. That would be.
You need one defect.
Are you enjoying the passionate love we are making? That'd be so awesome. I'm just saying, sweaty and
yeah,
your eyes.
Yeah.
I want to see him. I want to see him sweet talk a chick.
Yeah. No, actually, his guest host tonight, the call-in that he had was a friend of his from Deep West, the Western correspondent, and that's a nice person. Marielle is a great person.
Wait, was that his ex? Is that the ex chick that he's talking about?
There's one ex-girlfriend in there in that equation
that's
right
the one,
there.
though.
That's
he was
the
talking
one.
about her.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she's great. We're getting down to it. The political season is getting to be in full swing here, and one of the things that are coming up here in Milwaukee, the recall election is about to happen. It's okay. It's still something to talk about.
It is.
What I find always wonderfully interesting is just the reality. I was just going to let that go blank because we're still up, but then the battery will probably last longer if the screen isn't up, but that's okay.
That's cool. I get you.
So
Does he know you?
No, I don't know. I think he thinks he does. I think he thinks he's watching
Well, now we've got some
an
material.
Orson Welles commercial from 1976. How's it going, man?
I thought you were Rush Limbaugh.
What's going on?
You thought you were what?
Rush Limbaugh.
You thought I was Rush Limbaugh?
Yeah.
Wow. I usually don't get Rush Limbaugh. I usually get a young Orson Welles. If you put a glass of red wine in my hand.
We need to do that more often. We need to have you drinking or something. We need to give you a signature or something else.
We will sell no wine before it's time. The cellars of Ernest and Julio Gallo.
We're attorney. Libertarian.
Yeah.
Right or Rush?
No,
He's
I'm
really soft these days.
I'm above all the Democrat Republican crap.
We're on top.
You got an Obama hat on. What are you talking about?
He on the bottom.
You're red, white, and blue right now. Come on.
Right.
You're practically a walking advertisement for voting right now.
Right, I am.
Do you want people to vote? What do you want people to vote for?
We put in history, and guess what? We're
Grab that mic. You want to put your bag on the floor?
Oh yeah, sure. You know what? I'm gonna vote for Obama just for fun.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
And who are you, sir?
I am the maniacally evil Dr. Sinister.
Dr. Sinister has joined the radio tonight.
Maniacally evil doctor.
Evil Dr. Sinisters. Do not forget the
It's
evil.
what the liberals call me. I'm actually a nice guy. I'm also a redneck. I'm also really white. You look at my eyes. Guten Tag.
A hand's got to be a little bit higher when you say that. It's got to be Guten Tag.
I'm to the top. I'm at the top.
Well, Dr. Sinister, in this upcoming political season,
Herman Cain
runs.
Herman Cain runs North America and South America. Chancellor. Forget it. That's what I mean. That's what I said.
All right.
Okay? General.
He certainly does it
Berghofer.
one pizza at a time. He does kind of run the universe one pizza at a time.
Listen. Brian Renroy, King of the United States.
Brian Renroy.
Yes.
King of the United States.
Yeah.
Yes.
Keep it
King.
coming.
His Highness. You will give him respect and honor.
Okay.
And coronation.
And
I don't
coronation.
I don't want anything. I'm already there. I want to be out in the public eye. I want my $550 billion from the powers that be and South Africa's wealth.
So, kind of
And
a consigliere.
all the wealth from Switzerland
You want to be Brian
Dump.
Renroy's consigliere.
dumped into an account for me, Andrew Butler, either Andrew Butler Jr. or Andrew Butler III. Doesn't matter. There's only one that's alive who understands that he's at the top.
I can't quite tell
Yeah.
if we've just been hijacked, kidnapped,
Excuse me.
and ransom demands are being
Yes.
made.
Yeah.
Yes, we are making demands.
Let me
on
get
the
like
radio.
$5 if you get all that money.
Good evening. This is not a joke. South Africa has the wealth. The De Beers family must surrender the Marines' land. That's all, folks. You understand?
But the De
I ain't
Beers,
got to say no more.
the De Beer family
If
only
the
has
situation is
value.
well in hand, you're all going to get your money. The way we're going to get the diamonds. That's it.
but
I'm
the-
also a redneck, I told you. I'm drinking my coffee, going down here to the meeting. After a while, I'll be drinking. Listen, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I had to let you. That was my city voice. This is my real voice.
There's no reason to apologize.
Oh,
No.
Good, totally
Your voice
good,
is
man.
awesome.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
Okay, I got to go.
We had a caller?
And we now have a caller into our radio show.
Thank you, Evil Dr. Sinister. That was
Turn your radio down in the back there, in the background. Whomever's on the radio. Who's this?
Hey, O'Day, buy that guy a drink, man.
Dr. Sinister, there's people wanting us to
King
buy you a
George.
drink.
King
Yeah,
George.
he needs a drink. This is Jason Evans with
King
FK20.
George.
Buy that man a drink.
It's George Harrell of 2132 West Highland. Go by and give him all your money out your pocket right now, as well as Brother Barley, 58 on the 8.
This guy's
Go by
incredible.
and give him all of your money, North 68th Street.
It's the greatest. It's the
18
greatest hijacking ever.
Yes, it is. Yes, and go down to all the Lutheran churches and the Catholic churches and empty your pockets, but do it slow. Put everything you got on the motherfucking floor.
Hey, there you go.
Hey yo! Good thing we don't have an FCC license right now.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Jason Evans is on the line with us.
Hoagland is the new king of Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Greenland, all
I was going to try and flip the
Wait a
headphones
minute,
around
wait a
so
minute.
Jason
Oh, I
Evans,
gotcha.
so Sam can hear
Norway,
you.
Sweden, and I think it's about it.
Just Norway and Sweden.
Norway, Sweden.
No Denmark. We're letting Denmark off the
Denmark. I
hook.
said Denmark.
Oh, okay.
And
How about the Baltic states? They got some oil. We
No,
go after
no,
Lithuania,
That's the Russians. Don't
Latvia. We're not going to mess with them. Good liberals, the Russians, sure know how to quell a population's enthusiasm, don't they? Have a good evening, Dr. Sinister.
Bye, Dr. Sinister.
Stop by anytime, sir. Please come on back anytime. Wow, there you go. He is out.
Good
He is on his way to a meeting, he said. I believe
Okay.
it's the Bilderbergers. It's either the Bilderbergers, Trilats, or Alcoholics Anonymous. I can't quite be sure.
Yeah.
I think he's just going to go pick up the 90-day chip.
I think he's got more stuff to say.
He's coming back.
Oh, Jesus.
Is he really?
He's been struck by another thought.
Okay.
He has more.
My father was the head of Scottish Rite Freemasons. There seems to be a problem between Scottish Rites and Prince Hall, International, and York Rite. I'm not a Mason. I get the title through inheritance, so anything I say, I cannot be held responsible for. I don't know what I'm talking about. Hey,
aren't you a legacy? Aren't you brought in automatically because Dad or Grandpa was?
I don't know anything.
I have a question for.
Okay, go ahead, Jason.
Sinister.
Yeah, 1 second. So our caller has a question
Jason
for you.
Beck?
That's Jason Evans. What's your question, Jason?
What's his favorite color?
What is your favorite color?
Green.
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 Why is that?
It's got to be. It's
Green.
got to be. Why are
I'm
we?
really actually Irish, but I look like
Is it
Adolf Hitler. I can't
green?
help
Seriously, come on. Why
I'm
green?
really
Tell
actually-
us. Give us the real dope. Why is it green?
that. Green.
Did you get that? The real
Money.
dope.
Yeah,
Money.
that was good.
Green. Green cuts.
Green for money.
Greed cuts through, purifies its intent, reaches out and captures what the liberals say is bad. That's why they call me evil.
I see.
Yes,
I
Wall
see.
Street.
Tell him. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but tell him. Green is for the money and the gold is for the honeys.
Green is for the money and brown is for the honey.
No, we don't do the round that thing. We go straight for the real pee hole.
Oh, shit.
You could have at least gone with a taco reference and made this totally multicultural. Why couldn't we have made this a little more multicultural?
Oh, that's what I'm here for. That was beautiful.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for stopping in. Dr. Sinister, River West's own Dr. Sinister, here tonight to on his way to his Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. We really got to pipe the sound for this outside. We've got to just have a speaker outside the building here.
Absolutely. Two big tower speakers.
Yeah, so people can actually hear the call-ins. Hold on. I'm going to just hand the headphones over here to talk to Sam Caban for a second. I'm going to see if there's any way I can get a second set of headphones going on this thing. Here's Sam Caban.
Want to get through first? Or just checking there.
You can just talk to him.
Am I talking? Yeah. Oh, wow. It's weird hearing myself. What's going on, Jason?
Am I messing you guys up? I hope not. I
No,
can
man.
get off
We've
the
had so
phone.
much weird stuff happen within the last, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. Doesn't matter anymore.
have you? All right.
The evil Dr. Sinister came in and just blew it up.
I had to call in and just comment on that guy. That guy's a riot.
Yeah, that guy's pretty awesome. Hopefully we can get Hanson in here for a little bit. You know, I think the sky's the limit today.
Yeah, I'd imagine. Yeah.
Hey, so what's going on with you, man? What are you up to?
Huh?
What are you up to right now?
Nothing. I'm updating the site and getting everything going. There's a lot of stuff going on this week, so.
Oh, sweet. Hey, you got my email, right?
I haven't checked it yet.
Check
I gotta
it.
check it.
You guys are unbelievable. I've got the hottest collaboration probably having. I've never seen such an interesting group of people starting to get together, from financial advisors to comedians to coaches to fitness gurus to martial artists. It's gonna be crazy, man. You really.
Oh, that's great. I can't wait.
Yeah,
I
you
will
got.
check it.
I know you got my text. Don't be a liar.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. Yeah, no, I got it.
We're doing really deep personal interviews tonight, down to personal interactions. Hey, Jason, when are you going shopping next? What's on the old shopping list?
On the
garage? On the what's on the? What's the wife got you going to the grocery store for?
Nothing. I haven't. I don't. Oh, wait. I just bought a cheesecake from Baker's Square for her birthday.
Cheesecake from Baker's Square. That is awesome. That is
For my wife's birthday. Yeah.
Oh, it's very nice. Nice cheesecake. I've often wondered about the idea of a cheesecake. If it really is cake, or is it more of a pie? Does it qualify as a birthday cake?
You know, I was thinking. I don't think it qualifies for a birthday cake, but it does in this case because it's her favorite.
That's her favorite. There you go. Yeah.
But I was pondering the cake dilemma that you just brought up. I've thought of that because I was telling my kids, okay, we're going to get a cheesecake, but it really doesn't look anything like a cake. It doesn't taste like a cake. It weighs 50 pounds. So I don't know why they call it a cake.
Exactly. There's
Yeah.
very little relationship that's
But it's not really a pie
recognizable.
either because it's not filled with anything.
But what about a pumpkin pie? Pumpkin
Yeah,
pie.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Pumpkin pie doesn't need to have a filling. You do throw
No,
some.
you're right.
You do throw some topping on it generally.
Very true.
But it's.
Absolutely.
So I've often wondered how cheesecake got the cake moniker.
I don't know. I think I'm going to need to Google that.
Yeah.
'Cause that's going to really bother me.
All right. Well, hey, this is Jason Evans from mkefunny.com. If you're looking for information on anything and everything comedy related in the Milwaukee area, go to mkefunny.com. If you're looking for statewide information, if you scroll all the way down the cover page to the bottom right corner, there's also what's happening in Wisconsin to click on and find out. You could have found my show on Saturday on the Wisconsin page, and my Friday show was on the main calendar. So just check your venues, check your locations. But if you're in the 5-county area, roughly more the Milwaukee general area, you're going to find that on the Milwaukee calendar page. It's completely fabulous, and everybody sitting at the table is text messaging like crazy right now. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. But go to mkefunny.com. Check out some amazingly great interviews with some great comics. There's some great stuff from. Is the Tom Clark interview up yet?
No, I'm probably picking that up tomorrow from my editor.
Oh, your video
I will be
editor,
putting
that's
it
right.
Up next week. This week we have Nick Ledesma.
Ledesma? Yep, Nick
Yes.
Ledesma from the cast of Killers.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. He's up there, and he's having a show with, when is it here? The Sugar Maple Show he'll be on Thursday.
Yep.
And I believe he's also in the, what other show? The Stonefly.
Okay,
show
sure. Yeah. Nick,
on Friday.
Nick is one of those guys that's really up and coming and really doing some great stuff. He's one of the guys that I certainly appreciate listening to. He's a really great comic. Has a great future ahead of him if he just keeps swinging the bat. Milwaukee right now has some really kind of crazy good opportunities with comedians, and there's some people that really, if they want to take the time to focus and make this their thing, they could be a new wave of Milwaukee comedy coming out of the Milwaukee scene here. So
Absolutely, yeah. And then I'll be out there performing with you at the Honor Flight show in the Highland House on Friday.
Oh, that's excellent. So that's on Friday,
Yep.
Highland House,
Wait. Yep.
Port Washington Road and Highland Road in Mequon, Wisconsin. That's two
Yep,
shows,
and
7 and 9:30.
That is an $8 show. You said it was 8 or 10, and it is an $8 show.
I was just trying to get people to pay more.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great.
That's the best way to do it, is to
5 and 6, come over there to the fuel cafe.
So, Jason, it's been great talking to you tonight. As you can see, I'm losing control of the studio here, so I got
Take care of
to.
yourself, man. Thanks a lot.
All right, man. Thanks so much for calling in. We'll talk to you
Hey, no
soon,
problem.
man. Thanks.
Take care.
All
Bye-bye.
right, bye-bye.
We get ready to get a beat
That was
down.
Jason Evans.
A motherfucking beat down.
That was Jason Evans from mkefunny.com, the most comprehensive comedy entertainment website available. I haven't seen in the country anything that comprehensive and well maintained. It's really quite important for the growing comedy scene in Milwaukee. So if you want to know what's what, go there. And I don't know. It's been a little out of control here. So yeah. So you're live. Your mic's hot. We're good to go.
All right, cool.
Hey,
yeah.
I might have a couple. I've been trying to fight a lot lately, and I think I got a couple of guys out in Madison that now when I go out there, I can start sparring.
I mean
what I'm talking-
taekwondo.
No, like,
You're not just walking down the street picking fights and beating people up.
It's gonna be a mixed group of people because everybody's got their. Usually when people fight, everybody's got their own agenda. Like some people want to do like grappling and fighting. Some people want to do Muay Thai kickboxing. I do my taekwondo. Other people just want to just stand up and box.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to get a group of us together so we can, once or twice a week get together and spar. We fight.
Sure.
Do some rounds or whatever.
Yeah, if you can get that stable, the more you're touching it, all we hear is this constant.
Sucks.
Is there? What do we got for a bass there?
How's that?
Should be good.
Somebody got us
All right,
like
touch
cool.
the mic. There we
I
go.
want to hear that motherfucker shit now.
Okay, We try to keep the swearing to a minimum on public airwaves because there's a community standards thing that we're up against. So, yeah, that's nice. That is nice. That is awesome. Why are you talking about beating people's asses?
I can do that. I'm at the top. I'm at the top.
You're a top?
Yeah. Top of Illuminati, Bavarian Illuminati.
He's the
that
top?
Went in my pocket. Trying to be funny.
He went in your pocket? I doubt he went in your pocket. I doubt he went in your pocket. He's...
Drop the, you my motherfucking shit.
Hey, it's tight.
I don't smoke, man. I don't have anything.
You gotta cut out, man. Seriously. At some point, you gotta cut out.
Where my money?
You just put your money back in your pocket.
Where my tobacco at?
Don't know.
I was up in here and somebody went in my pocket. God damn it! Where my motherfucking tobacco at?
Well, go find it outside. Like right now.
Where my damn tobacco? I don't like that motherfucking shit. Fuck you.
That don't help none. We have,
That's why they call him Evil Dr. Sinister.
I guess so.
He's flipping on everybody.
You know, I think he's going to feel kind of foolish when he reaches in that pouch in the front of his sweatshirt and finds all his tobacco, but he's kind of flipping out right now. He's even going after the people out on the street. Oh, it's another street guy. Hey, we're going to have a zombie army out here in just a few seconds. This is awesome. Hey, that's awesome. That is awesome.
Wow, you have an entire album there, Hanson.
Wow.
Of Evil Dr. Sinister photos.
Wow, I can't wait till the aluminum coffee vessel comes crashing through the window of the River West Film and Video here on yeah, see, you know, this is why we need like 6 studio cams in here. Hey, here's a technical question for you, Mr. Hanson. The little studio cam, does that have a zoom control feature on it in the settings? Do you know?
I don't know. It's really awkward, the one they've got on there. You can see like half of a person's face.
It's really zoomed in quite tight.
You know, I'm going to bring in my Logitech QuickCam, which
What's this?
That's not my tobacco.
Okay.
He was the only one that got in my pocket.
He didn't get in your pocket. He's got nothing to get in your pocket for.
There's no way in the world.
Look, maybe a lawsuit that sucks, but nobody took anything from you.
I'm telling you.
We didn't.
Nobody took anything from you. There's no reason anybody's taking your...
You're liberals.
it really will make you happy and go away.
No, don't get. That's not your money. Is that your shit? Oh, you're just emptying your pocket?
Yeah, emptying my pockets entirely. Everything that is in, such as even my pockets.
We now have a cavity search going on.
In my pockets.
No, man.
Okay, they're gonna need you to leave the store because you can't throw shit around in the store. You can't come in threatening people in here. Okay. So you need to go right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
It's bad news.
Time to go.
It's poor form, man. Poor form.
We put you on the air to say what you want to say, and you come back and accuse us of stealing from you. Hit the fucking pavement, man. Hit the pavement. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Try to help out a crazy guy. Look what you get. Try to help out a sociopathic. Hey, you know, I'd love for that guy to get all the help he needs, but you know what, man?
He's done some very good radio here. You know, he did
That's terrific.
This whole 20-minute rant about the Nazis and the Illuminati.
Oh, yeah. Great.
That's his shtick.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Then he lost his tobacco.
What can you do? What can you do? Yeah.
Oh, did you find your tobacco? Is that your tobacco? Did you find it? Did you find it? You coming back to apologize now? Did you find your tobacco? Where's your tobacco? What about your pouch? We're now debating the merits of a man who we don't know if he ever had tobacco. He didn't take your fucking tobacco, dude.
Is that it?
Did you find it?
Pocket.
Oh, look at that.
Oh.
Hey, you going to apologize to him now? You going to not call him a cocksucker?
Hey, you guys, the thing to do is just de-accelerate the situation and just ignore him, okay?
Yeah.
I don't know why you're interacting with him.
Because it's good radio. Don't be afraid of the crazy black man. Really, it's okay. Are we cool? Are we cool? We are cool. All right. All right. It is 8:15, 8:14 here on
like the I voted sticker on
riverwestradio.com.
his hat.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
If I had the
Thank you
25
very
million
much.
of Rush Limbaugh, I would not be sitting in River West right now. Do you know
Good
he has
morning.
2 RS6s?
What's an RS?
An Audi RS6?
Limbaugh?
Limbaugh has, yeah. 2 twin-turbo V8 Audis.
And he's deaf and he can't even hear the music that they make.
Oh, he can now with the cochlear implant.
With a cochlear implant?
Yeah, sure.
He's got a cochlear.
Yeah.
How does he? Well, oh, man, RS6, you can buy a lot of OxyContin for.
You
price
can.
of RS6.
Yeah, but when you can buy RS6s at the rate of 1 a day just because of your residuals from the Orange Juice Board of Florida, I'm not going to get into that. I'm happy for every dime the guy gets. That's commerce. That's how business runs.
Yep.
You get to the top of your game. You bring 25 million listeners a week. You know what? You get paid. Just the way this country works.
Totally fine.
Just the way this country works.
Nice. Good things.
We should all have such problems.
Yeah, I could use $25 million.
I'm sure
worth of
everybody
problems.
sitting at this table would turn that down and go, you know what? No, my political persuasion says.
Who here wouldn't take $25 million to be Rush Limbaugh?
Right. Well,
To
I
be
don't
dude,
know.
no.
I don't know that
Not
you have
to
to
be
follow
dude.
that path. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
But I
that
take $25 million.
I wish that the direction of the path could change. I wish
here's
that-
the thing. He just you can disagree all day long with his politics and his posturing and his methodology, but what he's done is garner an audience, and he does it in a very entertaining fashion. He does it in a very endearing and enduring and alluring way. Some people would say he scares people. Well, I would say that there's enough scaremongering on both sides of the aisle from every player.
The people like fear. The people, it's not necessarily that people like to be afraid, but people are very easily persuaded. By
Right,
fear.
that's the word. That's
Yeah, possibly. But I just, I guess my disposition is, hey, I gotta. I forgot his name. What's your name? What's our
Albert.
Albert?
Something. Oh, Dr. Sinister.
No, our friend here.
Oh, this Steve.
Oh, that's a lot.
Hey,
easier.
Steve.
Is that Steve? Nick.
Nick. Sorry, Nick.
Sorry.
Way off.
I was going off of Tim's intel there, and Tim.
I'm an
from
imbecile.
6 feet away. You know.
Yeah. He says, "Who's that?"
As soon as he hears your
Steve.
voice, boom. What's the future of putting some speakers outside of what's going on the radio show, so the passers-by get to hear this great
Man,
radio?
I am all about that idea. I've been pushing that idea for a while.
Cool.
I did run a cable because we're archiving the shows back there and also doing the other stream back there. So
Okay.
there's a cable going back there that could hook up to the receiver.
Interesting.
So I don't know. Just gotta.
If we can find a donation of some weathersproof speakers, we might be in business.
Yeah.
All right, I'll work on that.
Nice.
We'll see if we can't get somebody to pop for some speakers for putting them up outside.
We'll talk.
All right, man.
On Wednesday we should talk about that. You guys should come to the meeting. I'll talk to you after your show.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, unfortunately, I run an open mic at Stage Right inside the Miramar every Wednesday night at 7 to 9:30 p.m. So I miss the meetings here, but if you ever get a chance to be around, I know you're usually in Madison. Yeah,
usually.
so the whole reason we do a Monday radio show is it's the last day of the week that I have had a free night, and it's also then. The last day of the week that Sam is in the Milwaukee market before he heads
Right.
to Madison. So it's we live a fairly transient existence to our own neighborhood here, but
That's all right. The neighborhood lends itself towards transience.
That's true. That's true. Clearly, as identified by Dr. Sinister. So the keep that thing coming on full circle. So if you do have a pair of outdoor weatherproof speakers that you're not doing anything with, feel free to call us up here at River West Radio. That's 414-935-2951, and make a donation of weatherproof speakers. If you have a friend that works at Radio Shack, or even better, Bose, Bose, that would be awesome. If you
That'd
got
be
connections out to Bose, and they want to throw us about 5 pairs of headphones and some nice outdoor weatherproof speakers. And hey, Michael Koss, if you're listening, that would be totally cool. If Koss Corporation, practically in our own neighborhood here, screw Bose, screw those New Englanders. Those guys don't know what the hell they're doing. You got to go right to Koss, and I would love a pair of those. I think they're the MT900s or something like that.
Yeah.
$1,000 pair of headphones.
Conveniently located in the Home Depot parking lot.
Conveniently located on Port Washington and Capitol Drive in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And they would be a great asset to River West Radio here and how they could lend some support. We'd love to see and hear from you. They do a great job of supporting WMSE 88.9, and they're great guys over there. We appreciate their help there. But Michael Koss, hey, what's another 4 pairs of headphones and $20,000 or $30,000 worth of equipment, man?
Nothing.
Oh, and especially now, congratulations, in order for getting the embezzling situation under control.
Yeah, exactly. That must be nice to know that you don't have a sieve of $30 or $40 million just being sucked out of your company. That's got to be great. I can't imagine that. I can't. Here's the thing. The amount of restraint of the Koss family not to have taken this woman, had her cut up into little pieces and served in a vichyssoise, a nice cold soup.
What's a
would have been
vichyssoise?
her a nice cold soup.
Okay, cool.
Would have been her highest calling in life. She deserved no less, and she had the temerity to play the, "Oh, I have a family. It's so sad. I really don't think that I should have to suffer serious consequences. It was only money."
I mean, you can't be Imelda Marcos for $50,000 a year.
Yeah, right. Well, true enough. That's true. Yeah, the shoe collection alone is going to eclipse that. So really appreciate if anybody wants to help us out by getting some weatherproof speakers out underneath the awning here at River West Film and Video, 824 East Center Street, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, in River West neighborhood. And they're the fine folks that host riverwestradio.com. Pretty awesome folks here that do a great service for the neighborhood, keep everybody covered in really cool up-to-date videos, and some obscure, beautiful art titles that you have never had access to anywhere else. These guys really scour the globe for some really great old stuff.
Nice.
And really appreciate their efforts in that regard for the fabulous film aficionados that populate the local River West radio, so River West neighborhood. Anyway, it is it's about 8:22 here on riverwestradio.com. You can see us on Ustream. You can actually, you can see the side of Sam's face on Ustream. The camera needs some adjusting, and we need to get a little bit wider focal range. No, it's just, I'm sure it's just a setting. It's got to have a wide, narrow, and medium setting, and we'll just get it out to wide pretty soon. So you're just gonna keep making mumbling noises there.
I think that. Well, whatever.
We're going to put you in the corner chair looking inside. We're going to put you in the corner chair looking inside.
I think the girls in River West got hotter or something like that. Because last time I was here, I didn't see a lot of that.
The weather's improving.
Yeah.
Ever so
no, maybe that's what it is and stuff. But I don't remember. Man, I remember living in River West, and there was like a few good-looking girls, but there was like a lot of goofy-looking, like bizarre chicks, and I don't know.
Hey,
goofy-looking and bizarre has its merits too.
Some of those goofy-looking girls are pretty cool, man.
They're cool. I'm not saying they're not cool. I'm just saying.
Some of them are
I'm saying it is
fairly
improved.
adequately and admirably freaky.
We have a
admirably freaky.
One of the beautiful things that goes away with the subsidence of youth is the understanding that that outward physical beauty isn't always necessarily the highest order in calling.
I didn't say it was. I just still look at it actively.
I'm just saying. Just saying. There, a certain level of appreciation may rise to the fore later in life. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
I still like a girl to take care of herself and shit. Oh man,
there's no question about.
Well, you know what? After
Dr. Sinister.
Dr. Sinister.
Yeah, we're
it.
this one we're not. This one we're not going to be sending off to the FCC as a demo program for typical content.
Demo.
Expected, anticipated content.
Look, by the time these guys get an FCC license, it might very well be legal. We can only hope.
Oh, I
That'd
don't
be
know.
sweet. I hope
I
so,
don't
man.
get a sense that the process
Hey,
is.
you know, ass is fine now. You can say ass on TV and radio now.
That's of
It's all
course.
changed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
over time,
changed
sure.
in my lifetime.
God, I hope I'm not on this thing another 34 years from now.
Here?
Please. I hope I'm not on River West Radio in 34 years.
Maybe
Please.
it'll be
31 years.
maybe a large corporation.
Brendan, I hope you're still
it'll be
alive
like a vice
in
president
34
by
years.
then.
There's no chance of that. There's
Why
utterly
not?
no chance of that.
Of you being alive in 34
80
years?
years old, there's no chance of me being alive at 80. There's none. Zero. Precisely zero chance.
You need to be alive at 80, so you can yell at
you
everybody.
know, maybe 15 years they'll come up with a way to transfer human consciousness to computers.
They were talking about that. I was watching a documentary on that, and they were talking about like I don't know if it was actually a transferring of human consciousness, but it was certainly like a copying and an imprinting of consciousness onto like a computer format, so that it can be like talked to and interact with as if it were that same person. But I don't think it was an actual like I take your consciousness and let it continue to survive in a machine.
If we are to travel the stars, the nature of what is a man is going to it's going to have to translate to a little chunk of silicon about the size of your thumbnail. Because that little chunk of silicon the size of your thumbnail, that can travel through space for thousands of years, no problem.
I think what you
Well,
could
with very
have,
little
if you wanted to retain the idea of what a human being is, you could get into that whole cloning thing. Hang with me. So you imprint the chip with someone's personality. You want to put them out, 20 million light years into the future. Let's say that in real time, in real Earth time, that requires a trip of some 500 or 600 years. Okay, you simply have a system that grows and reproduces clones, or has a cloning process that can be implemented when it reaches an atmosphere or whatever, and then from that chip they imprint that clone with the personality of the person that they imprinted on the chip. Now that clone just becomes.
It'd be interesting.
that
It'd be
person?
interesting that could actually work, but how to get like the baseline neutral personality that gets hard coded, because so much of what makes a personality is such a it's born of a random chemical soup in your body.
Exactly.
Like we are as much whatever we are to each other in every moment is as much a result of whatever we had for dinner yesterday as it is from any like inherent irreducible personality trait.
That might be oversimplifying or certainly raising the level of dinner last night to a higher order than it deserves. But point well taken. That it's a totality of experience that creates the person that exists, and that's where the whole idea of imprinting something on a chip. The problem with that is that's as much just a snapshot. Because tomorrow that person's personality has changed again because of all they experienced in the intervening minutes. So so that's the challenge.
Not human, but certainly human-like.
Human-like.
And, and like a reasonable facsimile near as makes no difference good enough to travel for thousands of years through space.
Yeah, but it's like that whole idea of just slapping up a radio show and putting it up and hoping somebody listens to it.
Somebody will. Well, dude, if we sit here and hope, nothing's gonna happen.
No, well, exactly. But what my point is if you send out, that thing that's supposed to be human-like, and it poorly represents what the experience would have been, was, whatnot. Did it really meet its goal? Did it was it a worthwhile end to the process that you undertook? Do you want to in other words, do you want to put out crap product? That's where we talked at the early part of the show about whether we wanted to. Sam was like, "Yeah, I'm cutting this up. I'm putting it out and sending it on the internet." I love the idea of these being test shows and preparing ourselves, getting ourselves closer to a final product that we can be proud to put out. And work out bugs and simultaneously that we've worked out our own kinks with what we want to talk about is the technology and the equipment that we have here. These guys have been great about every week upgrading and making the station a better place to be.
We can actually take calls on the air now.
It's ridiculous. We just did
this evening. You did as well. It works nicely.
It works.
Does it not?
It does. It's perfect. If it works this well at this stage, this is brilliant.
We're on our way.
Yeah.
Hey, is there any
Who knows what? But there we
any
are.
festivals or anything like that coming up soon in River West here? I'm curious.
Any what?
Like any sort of like festivals or events and stuff like. Well, they usually have like 24-hour bike race and stuff every year. They're like there's
River
there
West
other,
24, yeah.
yeah.
That is
isn't there,
the
like, stuff.
But that was a beautiful little non-segue to something completely different.
Whatever.
But no, just
Shout outs to the community.
do we have? Does your laptop work at all?
No, well,
Okay.
it works, but for some reason it can't.
I
just
didn't bring
won't
my
catch.
power cable. I think. Did mine die? Did mine
It
shut
was
off?
pretty close to it. The
Yeah.
warning came up.
The warning came up. Okay, yeah, it's.
Well, I mean, we're talking
that's
about
good.
listeners and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like, how
I'm
do we
gonna
start
see if
checking with
there's some River West, Wisconsin information anywhere, or if our technology assistant over there wants to knock that out. Yeah, it's. I'm sure there's stuff coming up in River West. We could certainly spend the last half hour plugging upcoming events. My favorite event in River West is Rocker Box, which is sponsored by Fuel Cafe right next door. This wonderful 5-block section of center from Humboldt to Holton is populated by as many as 4,000 motorcycles. What's the number? How many bikes do they get?
It's a lot.
It's a lot of bikes.
And it is cheerfully neither Harley nor crotch rocket centric, although both are welcome. It is their embraces towards like the wider world of obscure motorcycles. So
Which is cool.
The cafe basically it's for the non Harley guys. It's for the non crotch rocket guys. It's for the guys that wheel out their crusty old '70s Hondas and.
Dude, that day's going away, man. The day of like everybody being a Harley Davidson aficionado, that's slowly slipping away. I remember my dad used to have a Honda, and he cruised up, parked it next to a bunch of Harleys for some festival. The dudes came and kicked it over, and hey, man, they're
kick over a Honda.
like,
Just because it has the decency to not drip oil on the ground.
well, you know, they
I gotta say, I'm a little.
on the label.
I'm a little Google. I plugged in River West, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The first thing that comes up is a map. Nice. The second thing is a Wikipedia entrant
River
for
West?
neighborhoods of Milwaukee.
Wow.
And the third thing that comes up is the River West, Milwaukee, Wisconsin neighborhood crime map.
Oof.
Oh yeah.
And that is at spotcrime.com/WI/Milwaukee/River West.
Okay, so
you
you
can
can
find
find
out
Dr.
the crime map, statistics, alerts, and reports of any city and county in these United States. And yes, it'll help you avoid Dr. Sinister. I believe he has a GPS tracking device that Tim Hansen put into his tobacco pouch. I think that's why.
Tracks him at all times.
Yeah, there you go. And the map is still loading here. We're on Sprint's fabulous 3G network, which unfortunately inside of River West, there's a lot of Sprint customers here. I'm often amazed.
It is occasionally 3G like.
It's occasionally it tends to be more Prodigy than 3G.
I should give you the password to the Wi-Fi here in the store.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Because the one over at Fuel doesn't really do much. But
you want to use theirs here for your phone.
But there's been a number. This is interesting. This website actually lists the crimes, the time. And what happened? There's thefts, assaults, robberies, other. My favorite is other.
Other's good.
I think I didn't know that other was the way you spell rape. I thought rape was spelled R-A-P-E. It's not spelled O-T-H-E-R. That's terrible. Oh my God. There's my first. There's burglaries. There's vandalisms. What else do we got? Shooting. Here we go. Oh my goodness! At the 3,000 block of North Bremen Street is there's a shooting. There's another one at the 3,700 block of Humboldt. Another one at East Hour and North Weil.
By the way, T.W. Hansen has a couple of properties out here. looking at Phil.
Knock it off. That's not nice. But there was. Oh my gosh! On April 15th, where was I? I was at a show. East Meineke and North Booth. That is the corner at 12:59 in the afternoon at 1 p.m. There was a shooting outside the house.
Really?
On the 15th?
Really?
And on the same day at 9:30 that night at North Pierce and East Chambers. What the heck are you people doing here? Running around with guns, and I'm sure they were legally licensed handguns.
Where's the East Side Crime Report? Yeah, that's where I live.
The East Side Crime Report? You just simply put in East Side of Milwaukee.
East Side of
So it
Milwaukee.
does the same thing.
I'm sure it's probably not dissimilar.
Probably not.
There's probably more robbings and less shootings.
Well,
there's
I got held up over on the
there's-
east side
Yeah,
2 years ago.
East Side is where you're gonna get held up. The East Side is like easy pickings because everybody. River West is the piece of ground that everybody from Harambe drives through on their way to rob everybody on the East Side.
Well, but the problem here
That's
is
an
there's just
oversimplification.
there's
I'll
just
probably get in trouble
there's
for
just
it later. but-
pages. Yeah, you're being a little careless there.
All right, no,
but there's
not
just
Harambe.
there's
Let's say
pages.
west of the freeway.
There's just pages and pages and pages of the stuff in River West. And I don't know. But so that's, that was always my trepidation of moving here. But let's say, what the heck? We're going to just keep moving on. So it's a lovely place. The art scene is amazing here. That's what we all started this with. Coming up in June is the Small Press Fest of Wisconsin being held at Polish Falcons.
Yeah, they're going to make some tiny, tiny wine.
Tiny, tiny wine.
It's a small press.
That's
No.
very funny.
That's not really. It's terrible. That's abysmal.
It's okay. We like Abysmal. Oftentimes, Abysmal's nice. What is going on here? You can't decide which side. This arm, which side? What are you going? Where's going on here?
Woman, squeeze her.
Oh,
Yeah,
true.
see, he knows what's up.
Yes,
Exactly
yeah.
right. Very.
That's-
See, let him do his job, lady.
Chivalry is not that. You know why? It's because the awnings used to stick out over and they dump the bedpans.
Yes, correct. Yes.
Oh.
Oof. Can you imagine what that must have smelled like back then? Even as recently as like the late 1800s, early 1900s, before cars were ubiquitous.
People just dump their crap out the window.
Well, just the horses, drawing stuff through the streets and shitting everywhere. I mean, can you imagine what it must have smelled walking through a major metropolitan market?
People must have used to have a much higher tolerance for feces in their day-to-day life.
Absolutely.
You could probably
without
get
a
away
doubt.
with taking a dump on the street, though. That's kind of cool. Sometimes you got to go right where
Properly
you're
positioned
standing.
between two horses, I'm sure you could probably bury your ass, and you do have to be careful what might wind up in there. But yeah, that's the way that goes.
Just don't eat out of it.
That's
You're pretty
right.
Solid.
That is right.
Ugh. What
So-
happened to this show?
Pissed off. If I was that close to a horse's wiener, I'd be more concerned about getting pissed on.
There you go.
There you go.
As
That's
a
what happened to the show.
direct quote from
There you go.
Kyle Warris' performance on Wednesday night at the Wednesday night open mic inside of Stage Right at the Miramar Theater. Always welcome our good friend Kyle Warris. That guy is amazing.
Actually, that was from Mel Brooks' Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Was it really?
Yeah, that's from Men in Tights.
Okay.
Is Warris riffing on Men in Tights these
No,
days?
no, no. I'm sure not. I mean, he's absolutely above doing anything like that. It just I thought you were even trying to do his voice.
It does sound a little bit. Yeah, yeah.
I thought you were trying to do his voice. That's what caught me more than the because I was saying it before you had even finished the dissertation.
That's right. Me trying to sound like the black guy from Men in Tights sounds exactly like Kyle Warris. That's a
Well, oftentimes he's actually doing a black character. So
Yes, true.
and you had just seen him.
It's true.
A week
and
ago.
He did that
So
set. Oh, who wrote that poem he read?
I don't know.
I think it was like Kathy Lee Gifford or something wrote the poem he read.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah.
Just know that anytime a Kyle Warris or a Jeff Lampton or Ryan Lowe need 20 minutes of stage time, that's the thing about our open mic that makes it really super cool is touring comics can get 20 minutes of time to work material out, do a nice solid set, and put it all together in something that works and sounds right. So, yeah, just make sure you get a chance to stop by Wednesday nights at Stage Right. It's a free show from 7 to 9:30, and it's a good time. So.
I miss being able to go to those shows, man. It sucks that I can't go anymore.
Yeah, we like having you over. But if you're ever stuck in town on a Sunday night, come on out to Rounding Third on 63rd and Blue Mound in Milwaukee. Come on out and see a nice comedy show there. Last night, we had comedians from Racine, Chicago, and Madison.
Nice.
Were there. So we had a pretty nice, diverse set of people. A couple comics still from Milwaukee, and Andy Bolton runs that open mic, the Dangerously Strong open mic, so that's a pretty cool thing. You get to see some Andy Bolton every week. And,
Okay.
And
What time does that show go?
That's at 7:30. 7 o'clock is sign up. 7:30 is showtime. It all wraps up by about 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Okay.
And Tim and Brianne out there at Rounding Third are just great hosts. They take care of us. Drink specials and half-price appetizers during the show make it a nice little destination spot. But Rounding Third's getting one of those $20,000 HD light boards that's going to go up on there as a marquee.
Wow!
And that'll face both directions on Blue Mound Road, and we're going to get the pixelation is so good that they said you can just submit a 300 DPI photo, and we'll be able to put your whole face right up there. So we'll be able to have shots of guys on mic, just up there on the thing talking about the Sunday night comedy show, and they'll flash that up there in like 4-second increments. It'll just cycle over and over. So it's just going to say Sunday night comedy, and that's
whatever. That's great.
Yeah, you want no more than 4 or 5 words. Otherwise, people just can't they can't read it as they're driving past. Yeah, or they crash into the car ahead of them or hit that kid in the crosswalk. That's never a good.
Well, there's
thing.
certain rules for that, right? When you have signs on the outside of like in a business or whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure you have to meet whatever requirement the municipality has.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not. You can't just put up whatever. And in fact, that was the problem with the show in Brookfield that night at Callie's. They used to have a big banner on the outside of the building that they put it up a week ahead of the comedy shows and would say "Comedy Friday night, Comedy Friday night," and they had to take it down because the city of Brookfield requires you to have a permit to be able to put a sign up on your own building. If you want to put a sign on your building, you have to get permit approval. And
Madison too.
I think pretty much everywhere has gone that route. And I find that really super interesting. And here's the best part. You get to apply for the permit, and you have to pay an application fee. And then they can turn you down. So they take your money, and then you've paid to have them look at it. And then if they don't approve it, for whatever reason, and they can decline for any reason, and boom, your $147 is just gone.
That's what I'm telling you.
That's just
man.
hilarious.
And that's where the power is. That's where the true clenching fist around the neck of humanity is. It's not in the political class. The political class is window dressing.
Yeah, it's all in the bureaucracy. So that's the beautiful thing.
Well, that's why I tell people to start.
Voting is only vaguely and
internet.
tangentially connected to those processes.
Correct. It's just the largesse of the elected class that gets to decide who's in the bureaucratic class.
The bureaucracy is expanding to meet the needs of the expanding bureaucracy.
Deeply profound. Deeply, deeply profound. I think it's true. I think it's true.
It's a quote from one of the load screens on Civilization 4.
Oh, really? Yeah. Wow. So are you just playing quote machine tonight? Are these not? You're not going to give us any original thoughts?
There are no original thoughts.
There are no original thoughts. I love it. That's the most beautiful thing in the world. Tim.
Yeah, that's money. The fast track to obsolescence. It's a real thing.
What's got you down, buddy?
Nothing. Everything's
Come
good.
on, what's got you down?
Nothing.
Come on, what's got you down?
I got no job.
Got no job.
Hate myself.
Hate yourself.
Owe people a bunch of money.
Anything to do with that girl that you were on the phone with this evening?
Oh, Mari, actually, that's kind of nice.
Was that kind of nice?
It was kind of nice.
Okay.
You're not a fan. I know you're not a fan.
Oh, no. I don't know. I have no disposition whatsoever. Somebody's
another one.
Ringing like crazy.
What up?
Look at that. Well, we've got another call here on River West Radio. Who's this? Who's this?
This is Dr. Dirty.
This is Dr. Dirty. Hey,
yeah, and another doctor. Man, I love River West. I really love River West. And I like the River West radio that's going on. But, man, you guys, Dr. Sinister should take over your jobs because, man, this is boring as shit.
Hey, I appreciate
That's coming from Dr. Dirty, man. You guys have to do something else, man. The guy on the videos he never talks. He doesn't do anything, barely.
Yeah, but he looks good on video, doesn't he?
Nah, he doesn't look good. He looks like my little cousin that, I used to have, kind of.
So
I
so
just
we've had
wanted to
Dr.
say
Dirty.
that. I'm really happy
You're
about
Doc-
River West Radio.
You're Dr. Dirty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Dr. Dirty.
And then we have the evil Dr. Sinister.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know. That's the first time I ever saw him.
Really? And how long have you lived in River West?
And I'm trying really. When I go out in River West, I'm gonna keep my cigarette tobacco, somewhere where he can't find it.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. I just want to say, man, you guys need to pick it up.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate your call.
All
Thanks so
right,
much.
No problem.
All right, man.
Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks, Dr. Dirty. Have a good night, brother. That's Dr. Dirty. Wow, that was awesome. We got to pick it up, according to Dr. Dirty. His suggestion was that we all get off the air and let him and Evil Dr. Sinister come in here and let them take over this time slot.
While he swears up a storm.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Talk shit.
Like, I'd pay good money to watch them try to make sense of being alive.
Dr. Dirty and the evil Dr. Sinister could
tell them to come to the meeting.
Come on by Wednesday evenings here at River West Film and Video. Get yourself a time slot and be entertaining for 2 hours and put yourself on the radio. It'll be awesome.
Or whatever's left.
Yeah, whatever's available. Come on down, Dr. Dirty. We'd love to have you join the crew here do it, man.
Totally
do it up.
Do it all the way.
What was he saying? Did he say something about me?
He just said that the guy that's on the camera just sits there and doesn't do anything.
Oh. Suck it. How about that?
We were actually going to get a Lazy Susan that we could put that on, and then we could just zip it around.
I was just reading about the Lazy Susan.
Are you really?
I'm trying to figure out, why the name? Who was Susan? Why was she lazy?
It's a great question.
I think I've had enough of thinking about weird shit.
They can't peg down a specific Susan.
Wow.
The earliest noted
Maybe it was a fat
recordance
chick,
of the
dude.
phrase was
Big fat chick doesn't want to do anything.
a 1909 issue of Good Housekeeping.
Okay.
Prior to that, people commonly called them dumbwaiters, which are now the name migrated to the food
elevator.
surface elevator.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah. So apparently, somewhere around the turn of the century, prior to 1909, somebody named Susan must have been really flippin' lazy.
Yeah, maybe it was her invention, and she called herself out on it. Maybe she just decided it sounded good and.
Well, yeah. Actually,
Crazy Lenny.
What's been thought is that like people would name things after, like common names, kind of work their way into nomenclature of various items.
Sneaky Pete.
What's another one? There were a bunch of them. They were like Jim this and Jack that.
Yeah, sure. A Jim Dandy. Something's a Jim Dandy.
Yep.
Something's a
Charlie horse.
Yeah, there you go.
And in that sort of milieu comes Lazy Susan, because it rolls off the tongue. Well, Lazy Susan, the Z sound. There's
I think if it was a Lazy Lisa, we'd have the same.
Lisa, probably the same.
We'd have the same affectation for it. So it's a beautiful thing I like the origins of things. I think there's that gap in time where things came into the common vernacular but weren't really recorded. And so there's that little kind of hazy era in the 1700s
and then they
to the
started
early.
dispatching people with microphones to document every last regional dialect. And I mean, Wisconsin gets pegged with, like people say, oh, that's a real doozy or something like that. Guess what Wisconsin apparently has, and I've never heard this in my life.
What's that?
Whoopin' soccer.
Yeah, where did we hear that? Did you hear that on Wait, Don't Tell Me the other day?
No, I don't listen to nearly enough NPR, but I found it at the sources that I guarantee NPR found it from.
Okay, sure.
Because the internet.
Yeah, they actually brought that up, and I'm like, I've never heard that in my entire life. And they actually tried to say, oh, that must be an up north term. And I'm like, I'm actually
You're
from up north.
Yeah, you're from. Yeah.
I've never heard anything like that
you
at
are
all.
from up north there, hey.
I am from up north there, hey. Where I'm from there, hey, they talk like this most of the time, and we talk about milking the cows and getting them up to the, you got to get them into the barn for the third milking of the day. You're really hitting it hard if you got them tri milkers. If they can go 3 times a day there, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah, like people from
That's
Neenah
where I'm from,
are
man.
fancy pan city slickers to the people from
without a doubt,
where
hey.
you are from.
Oh God, I tell you, those people they don't know their elbow from a hole in the ground. They don't know what the heck they're talking about. Yeah. I used to work out at the Walter Schmidt farm there, hey, out in Hamburg. God dang her, hey, he was that guy could drive a milk truck like nobody's business. He's really good, man. I tell you, he'd cut them corners, and it's great. Because the hardest thing you got to know about is when you're half loaded. Because when you're half loaded, that sloshing gets a roll in there, and it's like you get a wave just going inside that milk truck. And if you got an older milk truck that doesn't have a bladder, because the bladder will fill in that space a bit and keep the wave under control. If you ain't got that bladder, and Walter Schmidt, that guy never had a bladder. He said, "Fuck them bladders. Them bladders are for
if
cheaters."
Anybody in this country knows about driving half loaded, it's gonna be someone from northern Wisconsin.
Oh my goodness, that's a sport up there. God dang it! You wear your DUIs like a badge of honor. You gotta, you only got 3. Oh my God, you only got 3 DUIs. What are you doing with 3 DUIs? You ain't got your 5th, 6th, or 7th DUI.
That's not even a felony till your 5th one.
Is it still 5 in Wisconsin?
5.
I thought we were down to 3.
No, 5.
We're still 5.
And the first one is still a traffic ticket, not a misdemeanor.
Wow.
And you know what? I like this. I think this is sensible. I think this makes more sense than the rest of the country because everybody is so hot to jump down someone's neck and destroy their life just because they might have inadvertently destroyed someone else's.
Something dumb.
I think that's true of a DUI, but not of a DWI. The difference between a driving under the influence is any level of alcohol, 0.00 or higher, up to 0.08. Then it goes into driving while intoxicated at 0.08.
And it used to be 0.10.
It used to be 0.10, yeah. And actually, that one was kind of funny because when I was in college, we were offered an opportunity to volunteer for the local county sheriff's department. They would pick us up in a state patrol squad car, bring us out to the state patrol headquarters, and provide us with a sufficient quantity of whatever alcohol we wanted to get us inebriated over 0.10 at the time, so that the officers could train, the new officers trained on deciding if you were drunk or, and they actually had people drinking at different levels. They started some people earlier, so there was a longer time for the alcohol to get into their system, and the officers had to determine whether you should be tested or not.
Wow.
It was really quite cool. And I got there late for mine, so I had to slam a 12-pack of Point beer in like a half an hour, which it's more filling than it is inebriation inducing.
I like Point.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that. No, Point's a fine beer. It's a fine beer until tomorrow morning.
I don't drink Point. Huber Bock. I'll drink Huber Bock.
Well, Point Bock is actually pretty worthwhile. Point made a good
made in
Bock.
the same building.
Is it now?
Huber and
didn't
Point,
used to be.
Yeah. At least since the late 90s.
Okay. Oh.
Huber Bock and Point came from the same dealio.
So I show up and I'm there and I drink my and now I wait for the half hour, and so I've been there 1 hour when they decide I'm ready to go out, and so they send me out. What you do is you basically sit down in a chair, and the officer comes up on your side and just comes up like you're sitting in a car, and I got this female officer that in like 5 seconds she had me out of the car, hands up against the wall. She was arresting me. And the guy from the state patrol who's administering the kind of the evaluation, he's like, "What are you doing? He's done nothing to exhibit any, he hasn't gotten aggravated with you. He didn't get belligerent, nothing. You just asked him 2 questions and he was a little slow to answer, but what's the deal?" And she's like, "Well, clearly, and she actually admits, she goes, "Well, I saw him come in late." Like, are you transferring your annoyance that somebody came in late? Yeah, it's like, wow. And if that didn't reveal an awful lot about the average officer right in that moment, or specifically about her for sure, that she's going to let outside factors completely, and he basically was telling her, this is like, look, you're going to get your cases tossed, especially, and this is the most telling part, especially if you admit stuff like that in court. So he's coaching her on what not to say in front of the judge. Don't be honest that you totally prejudge this guy. But so they take me upstairs to the in-facility breathalyzer. They have the field unit, but then they have this thing that they have you blow right there at the station house. Much more accurate. And so now it's been an hour and 20-some minutes. And I still, with a 12-pack of point, I was a drinker back then. It was college, whatever. And 0.0667. I wasn't even legally drunk for today's world. Yeah. And I came out of that going, and they're looking at me like, that's not possible. You have a seat. Sat down for another 5 minutes, came back up, 0.0668. 5 minutes later, it had gone up 1/1000th of a point. And I'm just like, there's no way I'd get on the road in the condition that I'm in. So it actually helped me go, when someone actually is 0.10 or 0.08, they're pretty gone. That's not a real, you hear everybody say, I was barely buzzed and I blew a 0.079 or whatever. And no, you're pretty screwed up, at least in my experience, because I was floating at a 0.667 and just was like, there's no way I'd drive right now. And that's the guy asked me, he said, so how do you feel right now? I said, unsafe. There's no way I'd get in a car right now. He's like, yeah, you're 0.667.
Wow.
I'm just like, that's good to know.
Glug,
so,
glug, glug.
and the sad part is knowing that I can drink a 12-pack of
beer
point
and legally drive a car
and still crank a car an hour later. It's just ridiculous.
I love this country and I love your physiology.
It's crazy. Good for me. Lucky me. Lucky me. Make sure you make me the designated drunk driver, everybody. That's I'll take the wheel and take my chances. Roll the dice.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, my dad, three Coors Lights, and he's talking to the dog. So,
But you wonder how much that is lack of experience versus actual measurable blood alcohol level. That's the other weird thing, is that he may not be all that hammered.
It's a tolerance that went away. I mean, he went to UW-Madison. I mean, let's be real here for a short moment.
Still one of my favorite moments in time was reading seeing what, I don't remember what year it was, late 80s or whatever, but Playboy magazine ranked the best party schools in the country, and it was 1 through 50. And on the top of the chart was a banner for Wisconsin, and it said, unfortunately, the University of Wisconsin cannot be included as they are considered to be professional drinkers. So,
yeah, man. Yeah,
college rankings are strictly for amateurs.
Well, that's what we do. I mean, what other states are known for having like tons of microbreweries and all of their own liquors and stuff like that?
Certainly against the totality of the population, not a lot. We kind of led the nation in that, and we didn't have the extreme religious overtones of a state like Minnesota, where the Lutheranism, whereas unfortunately TW experienced a lot of that here. The state of Minnesota as a group experiences to a much greater scale Unitarianism and all that good stuff. So
and they got to have Jesse Ventura for governor, and we didn't. So.
Darn straight. Where was our Jake the Snake Roberts tenure gubernatorial campaign?
I found my Ed Thompson for governor hat today, cleaning out my closet.
I have a business card for you. It was 2006. That was the last time I was out with Tim Johnson. I found Tim Johnson's campaign business card. Tim Peterson. I'm sorry, Tim Peterson.
Yes.
I made a delivery to today to a place called Johnson, Peterson, and Murray. And I thought, if ever there was a company name that sounded like a CIA front, it's Johnson, Peterson, and Murray. Maybe could have been made a little more legit by Smith instead of Murray, but Johnson, Peterson, and Murray sure sounds like a CIA front to me. It doesn't sound like a legit company or a legit law firm. That just sounds like somebody that these are the 3 most common names in this neighborhood. Let's use them and see who we can't snare. Yeah. So. All right. Well, it's 8:57 here on River West Radio. You've been listening to the Extemporadio program with Brendan O'Day and Sam Caban, joined tonight by our nearly our third mic, T.W. Hansen.
That would be me.
Came in here at about 8:20 and helped us deal with the
evil
Dr. Sinister's visit tonight.
Is he routine character around these parts, so they always spend a good chunk of.
Well,
my
and that's
show
the
2
thing
weeks
about
ago
Dr.
with
Dirty. Had never seen this guy before, so I questioned Dr. Dirty's veracity when he says he's a lifelong denizen of River West and hangs this neighborhood real hard. I've seen the guy, and I've only lived here for the last month, but I've been hanging around River West for about 6 years, and I've seen him frequently. You'll know him, Dr. Dirty, by his entire support for the electoral system available here in greater Milwaukee County. He's adorned in beautiful Obama paraphernalia while he spouts his adherence to the Trilateral Commission, the Bilderbergers, and all things third world, one world government.
You don't get like a lot of Obama folks going off on that tangent, though. It's usually the frickin' Birchers that go that way.
A little bit of John Birch Society mentions tonight. Gotta love it when the John Birch Society gets a mention here on River West Radio. So, hey, you guys have been great. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight on riverwestradio.com. You can check the archives on Ustream, and you can always catch us on justin.tv. And thanks for hanging out tonight. We'll turn it over to your next series of performers tonight. Thanks so much.
Who do we got next? Who's up next?
That's
we
me.
are
We just
Extemp
finished.
Radio.
I forgot what the name of the show is.
Some dude, some dudes.
John Rippinoff. Is he here?
John Rippinoff's interviews coming up next here on Extemper Radio.
Well,
you guys
on
enjoy the
riverwestradio.com.
evening. And
We are Extemp
adios.
Radio. Extemp Radio is done for the evening. We now treat you to our customary short moments of dead air leading into our